Babe, we've been doing this for 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
I am so excited. No, babe. You're supposed to focus this time. We talked about this.
I'm focused, man.
Okay, I love you too.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so do you think we should keep this going? Because we've had some really good interviews so far.
We've had some great interviews.
I think we should keep it going.
I don't know if I got time for all of this.
You got time for love. You got time to show the love.
I don't think these people like the fact that we provide love and hope and
they do like it. They've been saying in the comments that they like it.
They better say it some more if they want us to keep going. I need to hear from our non-studio audience.
Okay. Well, y'all better say something. But right now, we want to bring you yet another of our amazing friend couples because you know, it's wonderful to get to know stranger stories. And we love to meet people on planes and in restaurants and find out their stories. But we really like to dig into our friends because though we're friends, we don't know all their stories. So you've known this couple for a really long time.
Well, yeah, I've known the husband since grade school, or grammar school, as we say in Chicago.
Elementary.
And then the wife I've known, I remember when he called me, he's like, "Hey, bro, I think I found her." And I wasn't in that place. I was like, well, good for you.
Well, let's bring them in. Let's introduce
Rob and Nicole Wheatly. Hey.
Oh, y'all come.
Get a room. Get a room.
I had to warm up.
I had to warm him up, is what you mean.
Oh, yeah, warm up.
Let us know when we need to take y'all off screen. All right?
Give us a 5-minute intermission real quick.
Right. So it is still possible that you could be married, still have all the fire, and work together. We're going to get into that. But I've known Nicole, I mean, at least a good 20 years too. We go way back. Yeah, I just got my brother. So I'm happy to be getting to know Rob as well. But Nicole, you are out about all over the place and have been in an expert in so many different industries. So you're the extrovert in a relationship. Rob, you're a little quieter. Are you the introvert in the relationship?
Well, I wouldn't quite call it that. What I would say is just that I think I was a bit private, so to speak. Okay. So, I'm very reserved. My background is entertainment, hospitality, running clubs. So I wouldn't say introvert. I'm actually a very people's person. Okay. It's just that, it takes me a while to warm up. I'm kind of reserved.
Okay.
And I come out the stove already hot, ready to do it.
One thing I say about Rob, if he has a plan, then it's not an issue, right? Okay. I'll take blame, bro. We kind of getting you off the cuff. He's like, man, do I get to see the questions before the interview? Nah, fam. No.
Can I prepare for this?
No. But it's answers you already know. So traditionally we've been interviewing couples that found love after 40, right? So it's love beyond 40 because we were both in our 40s when we got married. However, you all, y'all been rocking for a little bit. So I think it was before your 40th birthday, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your story.
As far as us getting together.
Yeah.
Let me handle that part.
Yeah, she's the storyteller about everything. Our stories are slightly different.
It always is.
Yeah,
right. You want to hear hers though? That's her accurate.
So
I'm gonna lean back like Fat Joe on this one. I'm gonna lean back.
So this is what I say when she tells our story. I said, there's her version and then there's the truth.
Right.
So Nicole, tell us the truth.
I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? So we actually met 30 years ago when we worked at Northern Trust Company together. Okay. And so we dated for some years. He misunderstood a situation a long time ago, right? He misunderstood it and broke up with me and left my butt cold turkey, right? Was like, I'm never gonna trust you again. I'm like, you ain't even got the whole story. But one thing is, after a year, we became very good friends. Okay. And we stayed connected. Our families were very close, both his mom and my mom, so we had a good relationship. Our families just stayed connected. So we did everything together. We saw each other throughout the years. we had some fun sometimes in between. But then I think the greatest thing was that I was in a space where I was taking 90 days to pray about what God wanted for me in my life. And I had a vision that I had a little son and that I was married, to someone that I loved. And my husband, towards the end of the 90 days that I was working on visualizing, he Yahoo messaged me. And so I didn't think nothing of it because we cool. So he like meet me over at the Horse Casino. And I'm like, oh, what you want to talk about now? What's going on? Right. And I get there. He kind of got a romantic scene, threw me off though. He threw me off.
I ain't say
the man, playing the little violin, all that kind of stuff, music going on. I was like, what is going on? Because I didn't think that we were going to go back into that space again. Okay. I used to call him my baby daddy, and his nickname for me was baby mama, right? And so for all these years, we just rolled like that. We was always respectful when we were in other relationships, though. We didn't never, do anything outside of that. But we got back together, got married, got a family, and it's just been a blessing in every area of my life right now.
That was close to it.
That was close to it. I did a good job.
That's so good. So I didn't know that you all have had a long-term history before. That's beautiful. So not many couples fall into this work, live, travel, life together lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. So when we see one of y'all, we see both of y'all. And people are always asking us, like, how do y'all manage to work together and travel together and still like each other? So what would you say are the pros and cons to being in a relationship of your magnitude and working together the same?
Wow. I'll take that one. I would say the pros and cons, of course, the pros is, having that ride or die, partner next to you, the comfort that comes along with that. If there is a con, the con is just the regular, like sometimes it's like, God, dog it, you give me a little bit, get on my dog on nerves today. Give me a break.
You go in your room and I go in mine.
Yeah. I'll say one thing about both of us, because we are both entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, and we work hard. So we actually look forward to the times and the space when we're able to get away and just enjoy each other, be up under one another, turn the phones off, get rid of the computers, which that's a super struggle for me. I'm still struggling. When I go away, I don't even bring my computer anymore, but my wife, Nick, she's like a million miles and running. So, so I will say for me that those are some of the pros and cons of us like working together. I think we really complement each other well. As far as I think I'm very strategic and detailed. Nick is a doer. She's gonna get it done. If you want something to get done, hand it to Nick. She tell me I procrastinate because I got to think about it. Hey, when you think about it, I'm thinking about all this. Sometimes I'll overthink it. So Nick is just gonna go. She's just gonna make it happen and go. So I think we complement each other well in that regard.
Yeah, I think so too. I would only add that where he was saying, like, Rob is very strategic, so he's gonna think this thing all the way out. I have real creative energy. I'm all over the place. Let's just go with it. Let's wing it. Let's have fun. I don't care what no one thinks, really, because we're all just flesh at the end of the day, right? We're all flesh, and everybody's getting out trying to be the best version of themselves that they can be. So I understand with that sometimes I may have to fail forward or, not hit the mark on everything perfectly. And I'm okay with that. He wants it perfect all the time. It's like, it don't really roll like that.
And her word is, just trust me. Just trust me. Nick, are you sure? Just trust me. Just trust me. So I'm like, all right, let's go. Right. And sure enough, once I trust her, it wound up at the end. We give each other a high five, like, all right, good job.
It worked out.
So I think
do what I was doing without a lot of the pieces that you add to it to make me be stretched in my thinking. No. Right. So
what does that look like for us? I wonder, we have a yin yang kind of thing most of the time. I think we we have such similar skills and similar traits. There's definitely some that are off, that are complementary balance, but I think we're both idea and do. I don't know.
You're more do than me though, because if something is not done like right away, you turn into a little spaz ball, and then you be like, we gotta, it's and I'm like, calm down, be all right. Everything is figure outable, and we always get it done.
And then
Sometimes in my creative process, I know that the first thing that we came up with is not the thing, it's the start to the thing. And her thing is like, well, we said we were going to do this. And it's like, yeah, but my gut is telling me something different.
Yeah.
Right.
And
that's me.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Let's talk about love languages. Are you all familiar with the love languages?
Yes. The 5 love languages.
Okay. So Nicole, tell us what Rob's love language is and how you see him in that and how you think you pour into him in that.
Okay. Well, I think one of the greatest love language he has is like receiving respect, and he wants to be heard. He really wants to be heard when he's speaking. And I could say sometimes I didn't hit the mark on that in the state of busyness, right?
So he's a words of affirmation person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would say I feel like a words of affirmation, not like he doesn't need to be like, baby, you the greatest. Oh, you this, you that. It's not that at all. No, it's that he needs to know that you got his support, that you're respecting him, and that when he wants to talk, that you're going to be there to listen. Right?
Okay, that's what you think. I got it though. Okay.
It's like a combo of those 3. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I would say.
And attention, you spoil.
So you say I'm spoiled. I'm used to getting my way.
He is. Yeah. But I need to do that. I'll be like, okay, you write this. Yes, now.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
That's right. And I'm sure once we dive into this conversation, we could probably unpack that a little bit about.
Well, what do you think hers are, Rob?
Hers is definitely words of affirmation, 100%. Affectionate touch.
Physical touch, okay.
Yes, physical touch. Words of affirmation, and I would say she likes to be spoiled. She likes gifts. She likes to be shown that she's worthy. She likes the attention as well from me. So,
and at any time during this conversation too, like this isn't just we want to ask y'all questions.
Yeah,
this is a conversation.
Yeah.
Right. So if y'all think of something or y'all want to ask us something, we don't have to just drill you, bro. You get to clap back.
Well, I will say this real quick about you guys. When I found out y'all was together, I was like, oh my God. You talking about 2 amazing individuals. See, I remember Mo, she had her mogul t-shirts and all other things that she was selling, hustling, moving, shaking. And when I met Mel, I stole him as my brother right away. When I met him I'm like, he speaks so well. I want you to do my very first conference. He did my very first remarkable conference 13 years ago.
Let me tell you how it was. The real thing was, he sent me a flyer with my face and name on it.
Right.
Oh, that's gangster.
She sent me a flyer and she was like, this flyer looked good. It would be real nice if you could do it. If not, then I could get somebody else. What?
Man.
Now that's how you paint vision.
Man, right. Let me tell you what you're going to be doing next Saturday at 3 o'clock.
In a loving
really?
way. In a
loving way.
But
They call it voluntold
every time.
Yeah, he knocked it out the park 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Always made me proud to say that's my brother.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then when you guys got together, I was just like, wow, oh my God.
I love it.
This is awesome.
And here we were knowing all the same people all this time and just didn't know each other.
That's so true.
So now what I remember is Mel. I don't know what happened if we would just so happen on the phone having a conversation or talking about something. I think I might have called you about something and you was just like, Oh yeah, dog. By the way, if you're not doing nothing next next Saturday, no matter how we get married, I'm like, huh? Like, I'm casually with it, like, yeah, it's just like a matter of fact. I'm like, okay, I didn't ask no questions because I'm like, you know me, I want to go in and ask questions like, okay, bro, you ready? Are you sure? But once I actually met you, Mo, and just your spirit, your personality, a beautiful smile and everything, I'm like, okay, my brother he have one. You did well, my brother. You did well.
I didn't knock him over the head,
You're now looking like, yeah, I did that thing.
Yeah. So with being the busy people that you are, like multiple businesses, multiple streams of income, y'all got my nephew, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. Like, how do you really keep the passion alive while you're balancing the realities of life, of work, of responsibilities? Because it's easy. I'll say for us, we have to schedule like our romance, right? We'll look up and be like, we need a date night. Or I'll just tell her, what are you doing Thursday? You don't have anything? Don't plan anything. What we doing? Don't worry about it. Don't plan anything. Because we'll look up and it'll be 3 weeks and we haven't really dedicated any time.
But everything kind of feels like a date to me though, kind of. So I don't know. How do
it
y'all
don't feel like no date to me. We be working. This ain't no date. Yeah. How do y'all keep
make the best out of every moment?
So for me, I mean, it's easy. I mean, my wife is beautiful. So I mean, it's easy. It's easy for me in that regard. As well as, but like balancing it with work and things like that. There are times where, I consciously may say, you know what, okay. Man, I'm just sporadic with it. The one thing that I can say definitely that I hear from other couples and individuals and things is like, the sex game and this and that. That's one thing I can definitely say about my wife. She's always available for me. So just knowing that and that's not an issue, ever an issue. So
that's important.
Like on Monday, and I'm trying to get out the door for work. You like,
come here.
You ain't going yet.
Come here.
Give me some cookies before you leave.
Let me send you on your way with something. Come talk to Daddy in the room.
Let's get something on your mind.
We're going separate ways up in here, by the way.
Yeah,
that's dope. But that's interesting to hear because you all have been together so long, and some friends are just like, man, just wait. It ain't always gonna be like this, or she ain't always gonna be ready or available, or and I'm like, she be wanting it more than me sometimes, right? Like I be like, baby, I'm tired. I'm almost 50.
I'm sleepy. I'm
sleepy, ma'am.
What you doing?
No.
So I'll say that to be with all honesty, again, like especially for me as a man, the beauty, the attraction, and things like that. And even like right now, I'm back on my health journey as well because I think it's unfair for me to look at my wife that way, and then she got to look at me stomach flabbing all over the place and things like that. So I'm back on my journey as well. We're making sure that now the last couple of days, I know when it's going because she's like, "Oh, baby, you looking good today." I had on my shirt, my tie. And I'm walking out the door, and she didn't want the brother to get out that door, man. So I'm like, yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. Hold that thought. Yeah. So, the work-life balance, I would say it's difficult, but, we are working on being intentional just as well as working on the word but myself. So personal growth and personal journey with myself. In our household, I'm trying to cut out the word but. Because I think for us, it cancels out what was said before. So my wife is beautiful. That's a statement. It gets difficult. That's a statement for me. So furthermore, we're being intentional about balancing it in our household.
And I think that when it comes to balancing, right, when you're doing so much work, you're multitasking. We are both entrepreneurs, as we said before, and it requires a lot of dedication, focus, time, trying to take care of your clients. We also have a big family and being supportive of our family as well. And I love the fact that some of the things my husband does, I really love is that whenever we plan a getaway or something, he's always doing something that's just like, spectacular for me. You know, he wants me to experience something. So I really value that time. It's probably every quarter we're going to go do something, even if it's just some little getaway. We're about to celebrate 13 years actually on Tuesday, the 25th of February. And so, like, you know, we got away in Florida, and he's like, we're going for a helicopter ride, you know, just all that stuff that's kind of dreamy. And come on, jump on the back of this, what do you call that scooter thing?
ATV.
Water.
Oh, the jet ski.
Yeah, it's that jet ski. I'm like, back, that's good. You driving kind of crazy, but let me drive this. Hold on, because you up here doing some dang old circles and wheelies and everything. So, like, but he creates adventure when we have a break. And he's like, let's just have fun. And so I'm very adventurous. I love to do all things, skiing. I'll do whatever, just about, except for bungee jump. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I want to jump off the plane. He's adventurous, so that's fun. It's enjoyable.
I've done the airplane. I don't think I'd bungee jump though.
Yeah, I don't think I bungee jump.
It's the greatest thing. It's the greatest thing.
I bungee jump over water.
Yeah.
Well, that's called cliff diving. You've done that. That's
well,
different.
no, because you don't go in the water if you're jumping over water. I just want, if the rubber band breaks, I'm gonna hit the water and I can swim.
You know what? I never thought of it that way because my dumb ass was jumping right over concrete. That would have been a terrible splat. I never thought of that. Like, yeah, let's go. I'm first.
Yeah, no, not first.
You know, they got that thing in Vegas where you can jump off the stratosphere.
That's right. Yeah, I've done it in Vegas as well. Yeah.
One other thing crossed my mind, and I gotta say this. I think that us staying in our marriage and staying connected also has a lot to do with our spirituality as well. I know for a fact that, I mean, we pray together. We make sure that we spend time at our church together. We attend a marriage ministry every year. It's probably about
marriage retreat.
A marriage retreat. It's a marriage ministry that we're a part of, and we do a retreat every year. Sometimes we go to some of the different activities that they have throughout the year. So we're around other positive couples that are working and through this journey together. And I believe that that's very helpful. I'll never forget the very first session that we went to was about like 10 years ago. After this year, 2025 should be 10 years of us going. A couple said, you know, what you do in a relationship is you work it out or work it out. There was no out.
Leaving is not an option. Work it out or work it out.
You work it out or you work it out. Yeah. Not leaving, getting up, walking out. That's easy to do.
Yeah.
And to take a family and to destroy it, right?
Yeah.
And destroy its future. But I think that we have always, even if it's times that it could be intense or whatever it is, we find a way to get back to being reminded of our spirituality. Let's keep God and our family first, and let's keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our saying is, you can leave if you want to, but I'm going with you.
I love it. So one of the things right. So we do kind of a check-in regularly with our week. That's one of the things that we do every week to make sure that we are in balance from what might have gone wrong last week or something we could do better, or what do you need for the upcoming week. Mm-hmm. But what's a shared dream or goal that you both have that keeps you excited about the future, something that you all are leaning into that brings you both back to that center of what you're working toward?
I would definitely say legacy building. That's like number one on our list. Would you agree?
I do.
You know,
financial freedom,
legacy building, making sure that the next and the next and the next behind us have it just a tad bit more easier, you know, but at the same time, making sure that we're doing what's necessary to teach along the process, because I told my wife, if they not ready, they not getting mine. You know, you're not going to just squander. You're not going to just blow what we've worked so hard for. So teaching through the process, and that's been a great feeling as well.
That's super dope that you bring that up, bro. One of my mentors, multimillionaire, he has it set up where whatever his son makes, he matches it. right?
Mhm.
So if you make $100,000 a year, if that's, you know, your career that you choose, then you'll get a second 100,000, right? So you're not just gonna inherit millions and think you could splurge and do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
In order to sustain a lifestyle, you got to do something to get it. So that's dope that you mentioned that, because I think a lot of times we want our kids to have it better than us. And I'll contribute or attribute something that Monique said to me, because she sees how I am with my youngest daughter, and I'm very, you know, daddy got you, right? And she's 22 now, and she's like, she needs to learn how to do some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I was in Texas trying to go get her new tire. She was like, she can sit in Sam's Club while they put new tires on her car.
Yeah.
You don't have to do everything. So I'm glad that you said that teaching aspect of it, because that's super important in legacy building, not to just give it to them because then they lose it because they don't know what it took to get it.
100%.
It's true.
And I think just hearing you say that, I think it could be the daddy-daughter dynamic and the mother-son dynamic, because I share the same sentiment with my daughter, who is now 30. That's daddy's little girl, always will be. But I think it wasn't Nick, the one who was like, hey, okay, now it's time to let go. I think it was me, like, all right, it's time to get out of my pocket. So now I have to show you some tough love, because I started to see certain things. I'm like, okay, well, you know, and she responded. Actually, it was the best thing that could have ever happened, because now she's flourishing. She has her own real estate and all those different things. But
we have two beautiful glammy girls.
Yeah. As long as daddy had her, she was like, okay, my daddy have me. And right now, our son Ezra, he in a couple of weeks will be turning 13. And that dynamic, I see it in the house with my wife. And I just recently had a conversation with her, like, all right, it's time for you to hand them over to me now, right? Because I have a job to do. And, you know, every now and then I feel like, you know, you might be, you know, overdoing it with the mother-son bond. So, you know,
it's important to remember too that our parenting job is also not just raising future responsible adults for the workforce and the world, but also husbands and wives.
That's right.
And we were attractive partners, all of us, to each other, because we all knew how to do things and handle business. And we knew that the other person, like, I know if I've got to make a decision, if he's got to make a decision and I'm not there, he's going to make the decision that I would support and or that I would have made, because I trust his know-how and his knowledge and things because of experience.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes in our age of parenting, we're trying to make it so good for them that we're missing on that teaching and showing by doing. And that's important. You raising somebody husband, girl, don't make him one you don't want.
It's true. That's true. So just to add on that, I know I might be a little bit more nurturing, right, than my husband is, for sure. But also, if my husband looked at some of the other things, like, I am big. Our son, he reads different, very positive, motivating books. The Power of Positive Imaging, Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. I keep him on track for him to feel as a secured person and to build his confidence, to know how to speak things into existence. I will push him onto any stage to utilize his skills. Whether I think he's at the highest level, the lowest level, the mid level, it doesn't matter. So it's a lot of other things that I'm really, you know, kind of strict with, as far as keeping him. I teach a real estate school class at his school, because I want him to learn with the other children, to have fun in an environment about learning how to make money and build. My son, he cheap already. He even like, oh, well, it's somebody's birthday. Could you give me $20? No, go to your own piggy bank. Oh, no, Ma. You know, I'm still
it ain't that important.
You know, so it's all these different things that I believe both of us coming together with our skills have really been a blessing. Not just for him, but also for our daughter. We was adamant about her. You're going to get a property. You know, you got to get yourself to self-sufficiency. What happens if you don't have a job? Get a multi-unit.
See, y'all done got us started talking about our children. We'll turn this to a whole nother thing. So let's get back. Let's focus back, folks. Now, love beyond 40.
Love beyond 40. So We have not done much arguing or disagreeing.
Sometimes I don't know what she's gonna say, so I'm just like,
why are you nervous?
Where's this going?
Now you looking like Rob.
Okay.
We haven't done much disagreeing, but we have had, a few pivotal moments in our relationship that strengthen our bond, right? So would you identify a time where you've had a disagreement that strengthened your bond, made you better, and how did you deal with the outcome?
You want me to use the example?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Okay, it ain't nothing. I'm going to use the example of, when we're doing an event, and it's a large event, right? As the one you all participated in with us last year.
Mm-hmm.
We both have creative energy, right? And so I'm a little bit more like, let's just go with the flow. If I'm feeling this internal instinct, I want to do it. He wants a roadmap, right? So sometimes after big events, I would feel like we were kind of going back and forth with each other, or in the middle of doing them. If he saw something one way and I saw it somewhere else, it took us a while to get to the middle of it. And, it was at a point probably like, we don't need to work together no more, I think. And then we still had to come back to the table and figure out, okay, look, honestly, if we stop and think about it, you just have other thoughts that are different than mine, which actually contribute to this. And let's stop looking at it as a negative thing that we think differently. The different thoughts are coming together to help us build something beautiful together. So let's stop bickering about it. Let's figure out how we can look at each other and see the best in each other, the best in each other's gifts, and make that work for us.
Because we want the same thing in the end for success. Just the way that we both choose to get there may be a little bit different. So we had to learn through those disagreements that, like I said, now her thing is like, look, just trust me. And now I've learned to just like, okay, it always work out. Why do I don't have anything to go off to believe that it won't work out this time. So
sure. Yeah.
We
run into that sometimes. I'm more of the graphics marketing side of our business stuff, but I also like feedback. So sometimes I'll make a thing and I, send it to him or show it to him for the next, either approval or eyes on it or suggestions. And he doesn't meet it with excitement. And I'm like, I was up all night creating these documents. And he's like, no typos. Looks good, babe. And I'm like, do you know how my combustion of joy? And I think I want, like fireworks.
So her love language is words of affirmation.
Okay.
Well, that's her secondary. Her first one is physical touch.
Because we all over here like this.
Right.
But her second one is words of affirmation. And I had to learn that that's not just a love language. That's her business language too. And so now I'll say something like, babe, you did a really good job on blah, blah, blah. And I really appreciate how you blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, okay, great. Right? When before it's just like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, that's what you do. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I expect.
He's like, of course it would be great. What else what else would it be? And I'm like, I know, but while it's in the process of getting great is when I'm really excited. So I want to share my work, and I'm an only child. So I, partly missed out on the part where you're in partnership with somebody all the time, like sisters and brothers and stuff like that. So I'm always excited to, look, I did it.
I was just thinking that, my father, he was, before he left the planet some years back, he was one of my greatest champions, right? He's like, you got this, you the best, you this and that. And that was an amazing bond, to have. Even if I didn't do something 100% right, he's like, well, don't worry about that. Just, put your best foot forward. Just that constant encouragement. And so those are things that is a part of my innate ability to thrive in, right? That helps when you get that, right? So my husband, he learned to to be a little bit more vocal.
And that's a good point that you just brought up, Nicole, that he learned, right? If it's something that I could say about relationships and learning your partner, I think as men too, sometimes we let me not speak for everybody. Me, like, do I need to put my foot down, or am I disagreeing just for the sake of disagreeing, right? Giving her a hard time just to show my authority, or is it a thing of like learning what she needs in a relationship, and if it's not a hill that I'm willing to die on, like giving it to her. I come from a big family and we're affectionate. But her need for affection is way different than anybody that I've ever met in my entire life. Like, if we're sitting on the couch and I'm not touching her, she'll be like, "What are we arguing about? Why and I'm like, I'm watching you." But it's so real, bro. It's so real. I recently admitted to her that I used to set alarms on my phone to train myself to every so often go smack her on the butt or touch her or give her a hug or something. That's because physical touch is her thing. And I literally, because I'm not just thinking all the time, go touch her. Yeah. You know, it was weird for me, but I set alarms to get myself into the habit to make it second nature because I knew it was that important for her.
I want to ask you all a question. Go ahead, man.
That's interesting that you bring up that point. And you say that because in our marriage and in our relationship, like, again, I told you, like, from the past, like, private and being more of a private person, and I never was like a publicly affectionate person or like that, right? But in this marriage and during the marriage, like, I could even go to the store and come back and she lean over like, she wants some sugar. You know, I walk into a place, business meeting, whatever, she wants some sugar. And for me, initially, it was really, really uncomfortable for me. Again, I think being in my head a lot, like, man, like, is this even appropriate? Like, you know, because it was just so new. It was just so new to me. And honestly, I think like now, I think we do weird some people out. I don't know if you be like, people be like, oh man, y'all get a room, like, come on, like, come on, you know, like, what's going on? But yeah. So with the disagreement part, I was gonna go somewhere else with the question as far as like some of the disagreements that we had to strengthen our bond. I would definitely say taking it back to a spiritual aspect. With Nick, she for me is different than any other woman that I've ever dealt with in the regards to she's able to kind of look at herself and self-correct. So, and that for me was not like normal. Well, to begin with, I've only been in 2 relationships ever in my life. Nicole being the second. And when I say relationships, like adult, serious relationships, I was a wild boy. So when I'm in a relationship, you know, and I'm serious.
I was your first girlfriend. She became your second. Let's get this right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll say this. I've been in with two people seriously ever in my life. Correction.
Right.
Note taken.
Cut you later.
So like the timeline, right?
30 years ago.
For sure. So with that being said, I really love and appreciate that like we can have a disagreement and it may not, you know, we may have our words, but she'll come back and she actually taught me this because I wasn't really a forgiving person. She taught me forgiveness. She taught me a lot in that regard from a spiritual aspect of how important those different things are. So now communication, we learned a lot through Heart Life Ministry marriage retreat, as well as we took a communication class at our church, AFC Church. Okay. For me, those 2 things were life-changing. The marriage retreat gave me, the individual with my background where I'm from, it gave me tools and hope at the same time. Because on our way down to the retreat, I was done. Like literally, like the retreat was like, she begged me to go, like, can you please go? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, there's no sense of us going. I was at that point, right? And when I got down there, like, man, God just did a thing. And it was so amazing to be in a room with about 100. They had a breakout session for just the men, and the women broke out. And it was about like 100 men in the room. And hearing some of their stories, some been married for 20 years, 30 years, 5 years, 3 months. And when I was hearing the stories, I'm like, wow, I'm not alone. Wow, it's not just me. But the most important thing that I got from those interactions was tools, because you know, my background and where I'm from and the guys that I was raised around and what I thought was being a man was totally trash, you know. So bringing that thought process into a marriage of really not understanding what it takes to be a good man, what it takes to be a good husband, what those things mean. But one thing I will say is when I got married, because I knew how individuals perceive me, just automatically perceive me as a playboy or a dog. And that used to bother me. I'm like, wow, you don't even know me. Like, where does that come from? Oh, you just look like it. How does that look? So with me being in a relationship and getting married, my mindset was more so like, for me, I want to prove that all men are not dogs. I want to prove that men can be faithful. I want to prove that there are still good men out here. You know, we just have to choose better. Make sure that you choose a woman that's worthy of you making a life change for, because God dog it, I've made a life change. so giving up all the things that I thought was, you know, living for me, you know, I found something that I feel like, you know, is worth it. So when we go through those tough times, those disagreements and those arguments, I feel like when we come back and we talk about it, it strengthens our bond. So that was a long way around to get back to the original question you answered.
Yeah. That's really good. Go ahead, Nicole.
Because consistently when we've been at the marriage retreat and a lot of the events that we go to, they say that it's a really good thing to schedule your fun time, right? Even they even schedule some of the sex time. They schedule all these things.
You've done that.
I want to know what's your experience, because my husband, he's so against the schedule. I want to do it so bad. He like, nah, we just gotta stay sporadic, you know. But I want to schedule because I'm a planner, right? But how does that work for you guys?
So we are a both and couple, right? It doesn't have, we don't. I guess the way to say it is, this isn't the way. This is a way. Right. So we have our moments of spontaneity for sure, being in the flow. But sometimes it's like, all right, we gotta plan some stuff out, else it's not gonna happen romantically. You were about to say something, babe?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's more of a the things that get planned are not as frequent as the impromptu, because impromptu is like, you know, we were on our way to the movies tonight. Like, what you want to just go see a movie? So that was an impromptu thing. But then we've got some stuff like, you know, first week of March that's scheduled. So it's kind of a little bit of both. And because we travel, and I just think we might be seeing that different because we travel together, and, you know, I think if we're sitting up working on a business plan, I think it's a date, like, because I get turned on. I like that kind of thing.
I agree too. I feel
So I think we're dating when we're doing those things, or, you know, like just having that, sharing that vibe. For me, a date in our life is some version of us doing something intentionally together. And that's everything for me, from watching a show, because we don't watch a lot of TV. So if we sit down to watch the show, like, that's a date. If we sit down to work on our Q1 business plans, to me, that's a date.
I'm glad I'm learning this, because this is going to save me some money.
No. I like those other dates too.
Save me some money.
You see the messed up now.
Yeah.
He said both and, right? We're both and.
Well, I'll be transparent on the sexual side sometimes. So I've made a transition in my life where I am now more of a morning person than a night person, and she's not that way. Like, it was a period of time, like 5 a.m. I'm up looking at the ceiling fan, and she's on her bed, right? And so I get up quietly and move around and all that other stuff. But that also comes with the responsibility of making sure I get sufficient rest. So I turn in early. So some nights, you know, we got a plan. All right, we can't watch this show. You know, we need to do some juicing before we go to bed. Right?
So you gotta pick.
You gotta pick, you know, because
and I'm wide awake, and he's like,
she would I won't say she would get mad, she'd get disappointed, because we'd be in the car on the way home talking about all the stuff we gonna do to each other. But then we see a new episode of the show we watch, it came out. So she's like, let's watch this show. And I'm like, cool. By the time the credits rolling on the show, I'm rolling upstairs to go to bed.
and I feel like Okay, come on. And he like, girl, that yeah.
I'm gonna lay here.
Yeah.
Do whatever you need to do.
She know if you pop a movie on, I'm sleep
Yeah.
regardless. Don't pop no movie.
I don't think
Movies
he's
is not
gotten
our
through
thing.
one movie ever. I can't think of one. Maybe.
Oh boy. Well, that's a good question. So let's talk movies. If you all were to turn your love story into a movie, what would the title be and who would play you?
Oh, okay. What would the title be?
What movie?
In the movie.
If your love story was a movie, what would the title be?
Oh, we can create. We can name it
create
ourselves.
it.
Yeah. Anything.
The Love Boat. No.
What did she say?
The Love Boat.
So we can create it ourselves.
Okay.
If our love story were turned into a movie, what would the title be? Oh wow.
Mountain.
I think it would be simple, like Destined. I don't know. Wow, that's a great question.
Destined.
That's a great
Love
one.
on the Mountain.
Love on
Love
the
on
Mountain.
the Mountain.
Wow,
I like
that one. That's a good one.
Love, peace, and marriage. I don't know.
And who
would play you?
We need winners. I can keep it.
Who would you play a love story?
Who would I play?
Yeah, who would you play?
Not Erica Kane.
Not
She
Eric.
was
No,
always-
who would play you? What
Oh, who
actor?
would play me?
Oh, what actor?
What actor?
Yeah.
Sanaya Latham, I think, would play me.
Okay.
Or, yeah, I would pick her first. I like her a lot.
Okay.
And
How about you,
what about
Rob?
you?
Who would play you?
Kim Morse Chestnut. Okay.
Who would play me? I've heard a lot. I've heard
It ain't got to be what you heard. Who would
Okay.
you pick?
want?
You are casting this movie. You are the producer. This is the Wheatley love story, and I got to pick somebody that's gonna play me. Who would play Rodeo?
I think I would probably tap. I wouldn't tap Terrence Howard. That's what they say.
Oh,
Not Terrence Howard. What's the other guy name from 106 and Park?
TJ.
I would say, oh wow, what's that guy name?
Morse.
Good question.
The one who play. I don't watch a lot of movies, y'all. I fall asleep through movies. But what's the guy who's in a boxing movie now? He played.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all on the billboard.
That's her secret boyfriend.
Yeah, that is my secret boyfriend.
The boxing guy from Rocky
Yeah.
Creed.
Oh, Michael B.
Michael
Jordan.
B. Jordan.
Michael B.
Michael B.
Jordan.
Jordan would play.
Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan will bring a lot of people out to the movie to see the rodeo story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would.
I think the women would be interested to see to follow the rodeo story if he was playing me.
Okay.
All right.
Who would play you?
Who would play me? Who would play me?
I'm going for Nia Long in my movie.
Nia Long. Well, then I get Tay Diggs. Not Tay Diggs.
See that.
What's her
You
name?
way
Lawrence
too
Tate. Lawrence Tate.
Oh, he
Lorenz Tate.
He little.
Lorenz.
But Lorenz Tate.
Lorenz,
But I mean, if you're going with Nia Long, it's like Love Jones remade.
That's true.
So what would the name of your movie be?
It would be shit. This is dope.
With the I-I-I-I-I-D.
No, I don't know. What would you name it?
I'd name it The Best of Everything.
The Best of Everything. Oh, that's a good one.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I like that. So do y'all listen to a lot of music? You don't get to watch a lot of TV. Do you get to listen to some music?
I love music.
I love music too.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay, so
Yeah,
next
we
question
both
is, and this our last big question. We can chit chat some more if you want, but what's a song that perfectly describes your relationship and why?
I just stop loving you.
Kim,
Let's see, Kim.
Yeah.
What's the
What
song?
song come to my mind right away?
What's
the
that?
song that we first danced back together in the
On the
backyard.
Ocean by
On
K.
the Ocean
John.
by K. John. My mom's favorite song too.
Uh,
I think that song always brings back a real great memory. Now, when we first dated a long time ago,
okay.
I would get in his car, right? I was getting out of a relationship. He knew that. And I would get in the car and he was playing this song all the time. Down low, down low. Like,
Well,
oh
Kale's
can we play another song in your vehicle? You know
funny thing about that though,
what?
when we got together, she didn't know who R. Kelly was. Like
I
she wasn't up
I
on
didn't
R.
know
Kelly.
who he was.
And like that was like, you know, musical genius in my opinion. That's
Yeah,
Are
that's,
you
that's
from
my man.
Chicago, Nicole?
Girl, yes, and he would be in the car like, I sing you. I'm like, okay, you love this guy. Right? Yeah. Actually, he exposed me to a lot of additional music. Like I used to listen to a lot of Christian music, and I was a B96 girl.
For sure. For sure.
Growing up. So
Eddie and Jobo.
if you ask me about Chicago, right?
Oh
He's
goodness.
the Terry, any of those kind of people I know.
So musically, I think back in the day, like our first go around, like because I'm such a huge music lover, you know, had the cars, all my cars had to have the music in it with the sounds, you know, and all that good stuff. So we get in and just take a ride to Indiana or just take a ride. Like, let's go get some gas, you know, let's roll up and get some cheap gas, some 95-cent gas, you know, and take the ride. So our early bond was built a lot just in the car, just taking a ride, vibing, you know, still going out, experiencing life.
So when we had that question in mind, it wasn't necessarily based on memories you had around songs, but like if you heard a song that describes your love story. So for us, it ended up being our wedding song. It was Lessons by Eric Roberson, right, where he talks about everyone that let me down led me to you. So he learned all of these lessons along the way. However, if you all were to ask me this today, I would say one of the songs I would pick for us that describes our relationship, and I think about a lot of them, would be "As" by Stevie Wonder. You know, some people call it "Always" because they sing but the name of the song is "As."
Any
How does
particular?
it?
How did that one go?
Around the sun, the earth knows she's revolving. And the seasons know exactly when to change.
Oh, okay.
I
Gotcha.
got it. You know what song keeps coming to my mind about us? Is I know this might sound real strange for love though, but Stand By Me. And the reason why I would say that is because like I feel like we've always had each other's back. Like you know, good, indifferent, not it didn't matter. Together, not together. I don't care what I was experiencing in my life. I could call him as my friend before we got back married and married, but back seeing each other and married. I could call him and be like, Rob, I need help with this. He was there, right? He could call me and say, Nick, I need this. I don't care. We just had this affinity to always support each other at a very strong way. You know, even in our friendship for many years.
That's dope.
So I would just say that song keeps ringing in my head that like Stand By Me because he always has. And I always have his back.
That's so good. Well, I love this, you know, little glimpse into things that, you know, when we're out kicking it, we're not talking about, so y'all was together and then y'all broke up. You know, we don't have those conversations. And I think that people at large see the successful couples and they just think that it's some kind of silo or incubator where it just happened for a few key people. And that's the story that we want to show is not the case. You could go through something, still be together, still make it, have a family, and fulfill that vision with a friend, with someone who was in your life. I think some people have put people in the friend zone so long, they might have missed that they could have been living life with somebody that you got along well with. You know, that you have that kind of bond that you two had over time. So I just want to thank y'all for spending a little time with us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
you all so much
for the invite and for having us.
We
love us a Mel and Mo. Both of y'all names starts with an M. M&M.
Right. We the M&Ms. Happy 13th anniversary to you. May you have 333 more or however many of those the good Lord will give us.
Yeah.
And we look forward to spending time. And, you know, Rob, I really look forward. I was just telling Mel the other day, I was like, man, I want to spend some time with Rob where we're not in the midst of working.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or making some magic. But for anybody that can entrepreneur the same way that we do, we just have mad love and respect for you. And we look forward to building some great things together.
That's what's up.
Well, I want the guys to come to the house and cook for us. We just
That
sit
part.
down,
That's easy work.
have some wine.
What you
cook
think,
us,
Mel? That's
relax.
easy work for us.
Light work, man.
Yeah, that's easy work. When you was last over my house, Mel, you know, I was listening. I know you could get out because I heard some of the things that you was talking about, some of the recipes. I'm like, all right, we could get out in the
Send
kitchen.
me a couple pictures. I'm
Easy
like,
peasy.
"Give me some vegetables."
Yeah,
Say less. I'll bring the wine. So, Nicole, I know you do a lot of things. You got some amazing events coming up. Anything you want to highlight or tell the people about?
Absolutely. So on May 7th, we're doing a women's hat and tea.
March 7th.
March 7th. Slow down.
March. Let's say March 7th. March 7th.
You said May
Thank
7th.
you. May
March
7th.
7th.
May is in my mind so much. I don't say May so many times. March 7th, we're having a women's hat and tea breakfast business event. And so at the Chicago Urban League, that's all complimentary for women to be able to come out to. And our special hosts are going to be there as well, dropping gems for everyone. And also on June 27th and 28th, we're doing our 13th annual Remarkable Conference. And so this is one that Mel started with us way back in the day. We're looking at having a great artist they're very popular, that's going to be there for the concert portion. And so those are the things that we got coming up.
Excellent.
And we also have to, on the screen, correct.
It's not right.
Oh,
just
that's okay.
LY.
It's just
LY.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll fix that.
You don't go to another lady.
We fix that in a moment.
LY.
You don't go to another lady website.
Right.
Yeah,
we don't want that. We
that.
don't want nobody to go to that. Well, we don't, nothing against that lady. But
Right.
this is
And Rob has, pulled together a very successful business. The
Yes,
brand
tell us
breakers.
about
That's what I was about to get to
The
next.
first
Brand breakers.
Black digital owned, operated Black business card where you could just tap and build your business.
okay.
Just right there. They're only $50, by the way,
Okay.
for a lifetime for all of our founder
For the
members.
founding members. I have
Yeah,
founding
so we
members.
got to 5,000
Yes.
founding members.
You
No
are one.
assessments, no monthly fees, none of those things. And you just tap and build your business. I love what it is that they're doing.
Brandbreakercard.com. Make sure you visit and they'll grab you one.
Yeah, so you build your own. So you would tap go and meet somebody and you get a business card. A lot of people come and they become trash after a while. They don't have anything. They're not going to type the information back in again to a system. Unless you have an assistant, you lose so many relationships that you could be building one with. With this one, you just tap it, you share or
Brand
connect
breakers.
with them in 2.5 seconds. And now you have this relationship developed. You're able to add that information into your newsletter, upload it, and all this stuff happens so swiftly. And now you've built a relationship, stayed in contact with a person. Sometimes we change businesses. We change some of the things we're doing. You can change your card. That's how it works. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's good. So it's not a family membership. So I need to get my own, is what we're saying.
Yeah, everybody can get your own card.
You gotta get your own.
Oh, my brother. You
Oh,
got
my
to get
brother,
your
you
own.
gotta get your own.
What is that? Smooth Groove?
That's from that Smooth Groove CD.
Grooves,
Yeah.
man. Smooth Grooves. Oh, that's a good time.
And you know what? I want to say one thing before we depart about the love. This was one thing that I want to add about the life journey and love after 40 and all those different things. I want to say that everything, in my opinion, is all on, for me personally, it was all on God's time, right? But every situation and relationship that I went through in life prepared me for marriage. It prepared me for my wife. Absent of any of those relationships, trust me, I would not be the man I am today. So even with God bringing us together early in my 20s, for me to recognize and to say, I know that this is a real woman. I had something there was a bar and a standard set. So in my mind, I never thought I was marriage material. But when I thought about if I were to be married, what type of woman and what qualities would they have? And every time I would think about and compare, Nicole was always that woman out of all the women that I've ever dealt with. So that was the one thing that I could say was good. And then as well, like my past relationships, again, taught me to the do's and the don'ts, so that now when I'm with her, a lot of things that she would have had to go through and would have had to deal with, they saved her. Let me just say that they saved her.
Yeah. Bro, I saw a level of maturity in you when you got with Nicole the second time around, that not that you were immature before, but it was just different. like who you became as a man, your level of responsibility, your level of just the way you thought, and understanding that this not only impacts me, this impacts her, right? I saw that shift, bro. And I mean, it's a good thing, man. 13 years ago when you were ready and I wasn't, I was just like, go ahead, dog.
Say thumbs up to you, buddy.
But it's been dope to watch your evolution. And Nicole, I'll say thank you for who you have helped my brother to become. Like, I literally have known this guy since I was in 7th grade, right? So to see who he's become as a person because of how you contribute to his life, and I'm sure vice versa, it goes both ways. But since I've known Rob so long, just seeing the evolution of Rob Wheatley has been an amazing thing. So I appreciate who you are, fam.
Thank you so much.
I'm smiling because you bringing back old memories.
blessed.
I was thinking about how when some guys that I knew from the past heard that I was married or getting married, like I literally, like, no joke, I had a family member and an associate actually, like, literally come to tears, like, are you serious? Like, yes, no, I'm serious.
Wow.
Because again, for me, I was that guy that created experience for guys. I was that, the party person, party promoter, and things like that. So, that comes with a lot of other worldly things for guys.
Sure.
And I had 2 guys that was really, like, not happy. They was like, so now what you gonna do? Like,
Right.
now what? What am I supposed to do now? Like, brother, you gotta figure that out. But I'm going across the street.
Be over here.
Yeah. So, just that growth, and again, being with someone that, for me, well, the question I ask myself that keeps me in check is, is it worth it? Is it worth it? So that's why I say you have to find someone where like, it's worth it. It's worth the changes. It's worth all those different things. Even when it may not be such a good day, the arguments and things, is it worth it? And that's what make you go back into that room to figure that thing out.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna work it out.
Oh,
we're gonna work it out.
That's right. And what you say, if you leave, I'm coming with you.
Right.
So,
Well, until our next date night, we will see you on March 7th. Everybody, if you want to get your ticket to that, follow Nicole on her page for that. I'll be sharing it on mine as well. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. God bless you.
Have a good night.
God bless you too.
All right, peace.
Good night.